It's mixed. Some are staunchly against it. Others want to learn more about it and see how it works rather than writing it off right out the gate. But everyone we spoke with says caring for those suffering on the street is still their first priority.
I think it's stupid. I think it's completely off the wall.
Tina Drake hates the idea of criminalizing homelessness in any way. She was homeless for 10 years before getting help and now helps others through street routes. On Tuesday, when Portland City Council unanimously passed its new camping ban, she felt sick.
Should never have been passed.
The ordinance prohibits people from camping on public streets and sidewalks or public property if they have access to reasonable alternative shelter. Tina says what's lost there is many who are struggling can't stay in shelters that others might deem reasonable.
If you come in and tell them, yes, I use marijuana, I use cocaine, I use E, B, C, or D, you get immediately thrown into a trash can, basically.
We know from our community that there's not enough reasonable shelter options for people.
Lauren Armony is with Sisters of the Road, a social justice nonprofit in Old Town. She says many living on the streets may be escaping domestic violence or experienced trauma while staying at a shelter. For them, she says no shelter bed will ever feel more reasonable than camping.
We do fear that the claim that there are shelter beds available will be weaponized against our community, and the narrative of service resistance will be used.
So what happens then? Right now, it's unclear how police will enforce the camping ban, but the ordinance does lay out possible penalties. Violators could face up to 7 days in jail, a $100 fine, or both.
When it comes to fining people in poverty, all that does is deepen their poverty. $100 fine to the people we serve might as well be $100,000.
Scott Kerman is executive director of Blanchet House, a nonprofit that helps care for people living on the streets. He says he's still processing the new ordinance. He is glad it includes language encouraging the DA's office to divert offenders whenever possible. That includes steering them into emergency shelter programs and other services instead of pursuing convictions.
And I think that's really important, that we recognize that homelessness is not a monolith, but it's a very individualized experience for the people who are suffering on the streets right now.
Which brings us back to Lauren. She thinks the solution to camping and homelessness is out there.
We are hoping that we return to actual root cause solutions like lowering rents in Portland. They're too high for most people to manage.
For now, there's an ordinance. And for city leaders, something on the books is better than nothing. And the ordinance also bans the use of fires or gas heaters at campsites and bans campers from setting up any structures or causing environmental damage. It also requires campers to keep all their personal belongings within 2 feet of the outside of their tent. David.
Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate you bringing us a variety of perspectives tonight.